Morning. Welcome to Sai Krishna classes. Today we are going to see about cyber forensics, the fascinating world of digital evidence. Uh, so, what is digital forensic science? The use of scientifically derived and proven methods toward the preservation, collection, validation, identification, analysis, interpretation, documentation, presentation of digital evidence derived from digital sources for the purpose of facilitating or furthering the reconstruction of events found to be criminal or helping to anticipate unauthorized actions shown to be disruptive to planned operations. This is the definition for the digital forensic science. Here we are going to use the scientifically derived and proven methods towards the preservation. That means we want to save the data, collection, validation, whether it is true or false, identifying and making the analysis. That means from A to Z we need to perform the analysis, interpretation, whether it is correct or not, documentation, making in the form of documents and presenting of the digital evidence which we are going to derive from the digital sources. For what purpose? For facilitating or furthering the reconstruction of events found to be criminal. Majorly we can find this digital forensic science help in finding out the criminals. Communities. There are at least three distinct communities within digital forensics. First one, law enforcement, military, business and industry. Possibly fourth one, we can include academia also. So when you see the digital forensic science, it is having the major three categories. Law enforcement, that means courts. How do the courts will help you to enforce the laws? And coming to the military operations, information warfare, which is very confidential. Next, coming to the business and industry, critical infrastructure protection. How do you protect the critical infrastructure? So these are all being performed in the digital forensic research. Next, what are the community objectives? If you can see, this table gives you suitability guidelines for digital forensic research. If you take the law enforcement primary area, what is the main objective of this law enforcement is prosecution. And coming to the environment after the fact. Next, coming to the military operations, the main objective is continuity of operations. Environment is real time. Next, coming to the business and industry, main objective is availability of service and environment is real time. So cyber forensics, what does this cyber forensics includes? Networks. The first one is network forensics. Second one, small scale digital devices. Third one, storage media, that is computer forensics. The fourth one is code analysis. Now, cyber forensics, how we can define? The scientific examination and analysis of digital evidence in such a way that the information can be used as evidence in a court of law. What are the cyber forensic activities? Cyber forensic activities commonly include the secure collection of computer data, the identification of suspect data, the examination of suspect data to determine details such as origin and content, the presentation of computer-based information to the courts of law, and the application of a country's laws to common practice. So we can see that different activities of the cyber forensics may include the secure collection. That means we need to collect the computer data securely, and whatever you find that data is suspect, you need to identify that. And examination of suspect data is essential to determine details such as origin and content. And the presentation of computer-based information when you want to present to the courts of law, and the application of country's laws to the common practice. So the three as The basic methodology consists of the three A's. What are they? First one A is acquire the evidence without altering or damaging the original. Second A is authenticate the image. Third A is analyze the data without modifying. Context of cyber forensics. You can see the uh, homeland security, information security, corporate espionage, white collar crime, child pornography, traditional crime, incident response, employee monitoring, privacy issues. Next, digital forensics, cyber forensics, how they are interrelated. If you take the brief timeline from the year 1970s, we coined the first cyber crime legislation. In the year 1970s, the cyber crime legislation has been formed. In the year 1980s, the early investigate units. In the 1990s, we have international early meeting, and the first international conference on the CE has been occurred. IOCE formed, IOC and SWGDE also formed. In the year 2000, RCFL in the USA. In the 2001, COE Convention on Cyber Crime, DFRWS. 2003, ASCLD Lab DE USA, ISO 17025. Journals, conferences have been occurred. In the year 2008, AAFS, that is a subsection. Crime scenes. What are the crime scenes? Physical crime scenes versus cyber or digital crime scenes. Overlapping principles. The basics of criminalistics are constant across both physical and cyber. Digital. Locard's principle applies. When a person commits a crime, something is always left at the scene of the crime that was not present when the person arrived. Digital crime scene. Digital evidence. Digital data that establish that a crime has been committed can provide a link between a crime and its victim, or can provide a link between a crime and the perpetrator. What is digital crime scene? The electronic environment where digital evidence can potentially exist. Primary and secondary digital scenes as well can be occurred. What are the forensic principles? Digital electronic evidence is extremely volatile. Once the evidence is contaminated, it cannot be decontaminated. The court's acceptance is based on the best evidence principle. With computer data, printouts or other output readable by sight and bit stream copies adhered to this principle. Chain of custody is crucial. Cyber forensic principles. What are the 6 principles? Are when dealing with digital evidence, all of the general forensic and procedural principles must be applied. Upon seizing digital evidence, actions taken shouldn't change that evidence. When it is necessary for a person to access original digital evidence, that person should be trained for the purpose. All activity relating to the seizure, access, storage, or transfer of digital evidence must be fully documented, preserved, and available for review. An individual is responsible for all actions taken with respect to digital evidence whilst the digital evidence is in their possession. Any agency which is responsible for seizing, accessing, storing digital evidence is responsible for compliance with these principles. What are the different process or phases? First one is identification. Second one collection, that is bag and tag. Third one preservation. Fourth one examination. Fifth analysis, presentation, report. Identification. The first step is identifying evidence and potential containers of evidence. It's more difficult than it sounds. Small scale devices, non-traditional storage media, multiple possible crime scenes. Devices identification. Here we can see the different devices that can be used for identification. Context of the investigation is very important. Do not operate in a vacuum. Do not overlook non-electronic sources of evidence. manuals, papers, printouts, etc. Collection. Care must be taken to minimize contamination. Collect or seize the systems. Create forensic image. Live or static. Do you own the system? What does your policy say? Here you can see the different equipment. How do you collect the data? Documentation. That means how do you document? The collected data should be documented. Take detailed photos and notes of the computer or monitor. If the computer is on, take photos of what is displayed on the monitor. Do not alter the scene. Make sure to take photos and notes of all connections to the computer or other devices. Imaging. Rule of thumb. Make two copies and don't work from the original if possible. A file copy does not recover all data areas of the device for examination. Working from a duplicate image. Preserves the original evidence. Prevents inadvertent alteration of original evidence during the examination. Allows recreation of the duplicate image if necessary. So here you can see the imaging. Digital evidence can be duplicated with no degradation from copy to copy. This is not the case with most other forms of evidence. Here see, write blockers. We have software, hardware. Hardware write blockers are becoming the industry standard. USB, SATA, IDE, SCSA, SIM, memory cards. Not BIOS independent, but still verify prior to usage. Imaging, forensic copies. Bit for bit copying captures all the data on the copied media, including hidden and residual data. Example, slack space, swap, residue, unused space, deleted files, etc. Often, the smoking gun is found in the residual data. Imaging from a disk to a file is becoming the norm. Multiple cases stored on same media, no risk of data leakage from underlying media. Remember, avoid working for original. Use a write blocker even when examining a copy. Imaging, authenticity and integrity. How do we demonstrate that the image is a true unaltered copy of the original? Hashing. We make use of MD5 and SHA-256 for this purpose. A mathematical algorithm that produces a unique value, 128-bit or 512-bit we make use of, and can be performed on various types of data, files, partitions, physical drive. The value can be used to demonstrate the integrity of your data. Changes made to data will result in a different value. The same process can be used to demonstrate the image. Change it from time 1 to time n. Examination. Higher level look at the file system representation of the data on the media. Verify integrity of image. MD5, SHA1, etc. Recover deleted files and folders. Determine keyword list. What are you searching for? Determine timelines. What is the time zone setting of the suspect system? What time frame is of importance? Graphical representation is very useful. Examine the directory tree. What looks out of place? Stego tools installed. Evidence scrubbers. Perform keyword searches. Indexed slack and unallocated space. Search for relevant evidence types. Hash sets can be useful. Graphics, spreadsheets, hacking tools, etc. Look for the obvious first. When is enough enough? Issues: lack of certification for tools, lack of standards, lack of certification for professionals, lack of understanding by judiciary, lack of curriculum accreditation, rapid changes in technology, immature scientific discipline. See, the careers, one of the fastest growing job markets. Here we can see computer forensics is a red hot job market. Paths to careers in the computer forensics: certifications, associate degree, bachelor degree, postgraduate degree, certificate, master's, doctorate. Job functions: cyber forensics technician, CF investigator, CF analyst, examiner, lab, CF lab director, CF scientist. Professional opportunities, law enforcement, private sector, intelligence community, military, academia. Summary: Cyber forensics is a maturing forensic science. AFS New Section February 2008. It has excellent career opportunities. Proper education and training is paramount. Thank you.